All right, what's up, everybody? We are back with part 2 of every single Warhammer 40k faction re-explained. And other than that, man, let's go. So let's go.
The Krork were warriors clad in ornate armor with more dangerous weaponry. However, things changed, and these warriors changed, and the Krork are no more. They are now known as the boys, the lads, the mates, the orcs.
Are the worst faction of all time. They're the worst thing in Warhammer. Kick them out, get them out, bring them out. No, don't bring them out. Don't bring them out. Get rid of them, bro. Get rid of them instantaneously, bro. We need them gone, bro. Hey, I'm sorry. Yo. If I sound like a menace to society, you might have to give me a menace charge, bro. Yo, if I sound menacing for saying that, I'm sorry, y'all. We got to get rid of them instantaneously.
An orc in 40k looks like an orc in most other fantasy media. Hulking, warlike monstrosities with big teeth and worse
music in the background.
However, unlike the more Tolkien-esque forms of these creatures.
By the way, y'all, the PlayStation Showcase is later today, by the way. So we will be getting, you guys will be getting trailer reactions later today at around, I believe the trailers, I said the trailers. I believe the showcase is coming out at around 5 o'clock Eastern time. I gotta check, but I think it's 5 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, you guys will be getting trailers later today. And other than that, man, let's get right to it. Let's go, man.
The devastating nature of the orcs is in their biology. Unlike most species in the galaxy, the orcs are actually a type of fungus. This fungus itself comes in various forms.
We knew that.
The
Look at
small goblin like Gretchen and Snotlings are a part of this fungal ecosystem as well, and also the squigs, which can be used for basically anything. But regardless...
Bro, we knew these guys were funguses, bro. These guys are absolutely hideous, bro. They're disgusting. They're nasty. Look at them.
What is a part of the fungal system, all of them are born from spores that land on the ground and grow. As they travel around the galaxy, they drop spores literally everywhere, and then an orc dies, and they drop tons of fungal spores that allows for their numbers to be replenished over a period of time. Because of this, orcs are not only extremely prominent across the galaxy, but they are exceptionally resilient due to their growing cycle. Even if one orc lands on a planet, it will be nearly...
Can I be honest with y'all, man? I'm not a negative Nancy at all. I promise you I'm not. I like to always keep a positive mindset, a positive mind frame. That's how I thrive in life, okay? Positivity, I love it. This Wah song in the background is slightly pissing me off. I don't know what it is. Now, again, I don't want to be a negative Nancy at all, but I'm slightly irritated. I'm slightly out of the loop right now. I can't handle it. I promise to God, if this song continues, I promise you I'll skip, and there's nothing you can do about it. This song is
impossible to get rid of all of the orc presence unless the planet itself is completely destroyed, and even then they might find a way to survive. Due to their fungal nature, orcs don't really stop growing, and the more long-lived an orc is, the bigger they get, and the more an orc fights, the bigger they get. Of course, since they're constantly getting into scraps, an orc's lifespan isn't necessarily that long, so the bigger orcs are harder to find. Though alongside this, however, they are a tribe-based species that is comprised of warbands, and the biggest and the strongest orc leads the warband known as the War Boss. At the bottom end of the orc tribal system are the Gretchens and the Snotlings. These members act as the servants and slaves of the orcs, and sometimes their actual ammunition, despite being a bit smarter and more cunning than their bigger brethren. Because in orc culture, the biggest is the boss. The smallest gets picked on and thrown around. Beyond the warbands and the tribes, orcs also belong to a specific clan. Tribes constantly shatter and...
Thank God. Thank you. Thank you. My God. This song. Like, it, bro, whew. Let me calm down, yo. I don't want to become a school threat. I don't want to become a menace. But like, bro, this song was so irritating.
Rebuild, but the clans do not. They are, in a sense, a psychological state of being for any given orc and gives an orc their specific character and traits. And to make things easier, these clans are also color-coded. So that's very easy to tell what orc does what. Though there are many clans out there, 6 of them are the most prominent and well-known. The Bad Moons are essentially the merchants and have a lot of money because their currency is teeth and they grow.
Now hold up. Now the Bad Moons, they get a little respect from me. I'll be real. They get a little respect from me. I remember reacting to a Crack Duck video about the orcs and like the different orcs, like races or whatever. I can't lie to you. The Bad Moons, I did give a little respect to. I didn't forget that. Bad Moons, y'all get some respect from me. All the other ones, y'all suck.
Teeth faster than any others. The Blood Axes are the stealth units, and by stealth, it means like slightly more quiet than the others, and they have a love for LARPing as humies. Death Skulls are the scavengers, and the Goths are the close combat specialists. And on the 2 ends of the spectrum, we also have the tech-savvy Evil Sons, and the more traditionalist and tribal Snakebites. Another major facet of orcs is their religious beliefs. They believe in 2 gods, Gork and Mork. Gork is cunningly brutal and Mork is brutally cunning. The difference between them, according to orcs, is that Mork hits you.
Man, that thing is hideous. He is not brutally cunning, bro. Listen. I know, bro. I sound like a hater right now. Hey, you know I'm hating whenever I start stuttering. You know, you know I'm hating, bro. Cause like if it was genuine and real, I wouldn't really stutter like that. You know I'm hating, bro. You know I'm hating bad when I'm stuttering. I'ma keep it real, y'all. He is not brutally cunning. Get him out, bro. This man is hideous, bro.
When you aren't looking, and Gork hits you when you are. There's a lot of confusion as to which one is which, and this results in a lot of infighting. In other species, this would be considered a sort of religious conflict, but for the orcs, it's just another excuse to fight. I have a quote here, but I don't really do a good orc voice.
Okay.
So I'm going to get my co-host of That's Ridiculous to read this one,
okay,
and I'll try to lip sync it.
Oh, he's more cunning in a grot and more killy than a dread. The boys that follow me can't be beat. On Piscina, we jumped the Marine boys, and our boss poles was covered in the helmets we took from the dead-ends. We burned their port and killed their bosses and left nothing but ruins behind. I'm Warlord Gezgul Mac Uruk-Drucker, and I speak with the word of the gods. We's gonna stomp the universe flat and kill anything what fights back. We's gonna do this cause we're orcs, and we was made to fight and win.
It's cause this fucking sounds
What is you talking about? What are you talking about? What, like, what are you, like, bro, you good, bro? Yo, I'm like 5 seconds away from calling the authorities. What are you talking about? The hell is your problem? You school menace? You school sniper? What is you talking about? Bro said like 5 full English words in there. Like, what is you talking? Bro, you speak it in water. What are you talking about? My goodness. Like, what are we like? Are we like, man, like sometimes like, calm down. I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. All right, I'm calm down.
Terrible. Fighting is the biggest aspect of orc culture, and it's essentially their life's purpose. They are genetically hardwired to get into battles and scraps with enemies that can feel pain. The more they fight, the bigger they get. This, combined with them getting bigger over time, means that some of the biggest and baddest orcs of all time have been notably gigantic. The Beast, as he was known, was about the size of an Imperial Knight. If an orc runs out of other enemies to fight, they will immediately start into infighting to scratch the battle itch.
Yo, that is the most diabolical. Yo, did you hear what he just said? He basically said, if they run out of enemies to fight, listen to this. Don't laugh. Y'all gonna make me mess up. Listen, don't laugh. He said, and I quote, he said, if they run out of enemies to fight, they fight each other. I'm sorry and excuse my language, but what in the flippity fuck are we talking about? What are we like? No. Fill me in like a bubble in school. What are we talking about? Cause now I'm getting a little irritated. Now I knew that's what they did, but like it really like the way he broke it down, it kind of like solved it for me, brother. So whenever they stopped like scrapping or whatever, if they got if they got more left in the tank, no Mark Henry, then like they'll fight each other. Like I don't like, y'all, I might have to edit this whole video and like skip some parts or whatever and like take some parts out because this video is gonna be a long video, bro. Like for real.
That saw its eventual change into an overtly religious empire. During this time, an all-female warrior cult to the emperor called the Daughters of the Emperor were a bit more isolated from the wider empire.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. My goodness. Man, she knows she fine. The thing is, she's dangerous though. Man, yo, if you even so choose to even like, man, if she mad, bro, she's one of those girls, bro. If she's mad, right, and like, you know, she's like your girlfriend or whatever. If she's mad, y'all, and she's like at the sink and she like, you know, washing dishes or whatever, bro, and you try to come up from behind her and be like, oh, what's up, babe? Oh. Man, she's one of the type of girls, bro, to hit you with these. Ugh. Man, bro, you gonna have a tummy ache for like a year. Man, she's the type, bro. But hey, I can't lie to you. It's worth it. It's worth it. Man, it is worth it, bro. Look, she fine as wine. As wine from Santa Barbara, California.
However, as the ecclesiarchy began to take root, one Goj Van Dyer became the High Lord of the Administratum and noticed these warriors and felt they could be useful to him. Goj himself told these warriors that he was the voice of the emperor himself and demanded they fire.
Man, oh, I remember this, y'all. I mean, technically, I don't know. I might have to edit this part out whenever I edit it. Or, you know what? I'm going to keep this one in. I'm going to keep this one in, y'all. I'm going to keep this one in. I know about this, y'all. Basically, y'all, he finessed. So, y'all know the girl, y'all know the girl I was just thirsty about like 2 seconds ago? Bro, the Daughters of the Emperor or whatever, y'all, he finessed. Bro, y'all, like what he did was, bro, he's kind of like the Master Roshi of Warhammer. What he did was, y'all, he was basically telling the Daughters of the Emperor, he was like, yo, you do know that like the Emperor runs through me as well, right? You do know that whatever I say goes, right? They're like, really? He's like, yeah, whatever I say goes through me. Whatever he says goes through me. Yeah. And they're like, you're not capping? Yeah, of course I'm not capping, babe. All right, so as a matter of fact, tonight, I want a grilled teriyaki. So basically, he got them to do a bunch of crazy ish, bro. Yeah, bro, because obviously they're thinking, okay, well, if the emperor runs through him or whatever, then his words mean something. Like, then we basically got to listen to him. Man, he was on some freaky deaky timing, bro. Freaky frog timing, bro. We're going to let Bricky clear it up. But like, bro, this man is a finesser one-on-one.
Upon him to prove it. Having a little hidden force field that this warrior Cole had never seen before, the bullet bounced off of him and showing him to be unharmed, truly blessed by the emperor.
See, they didn't see the force field. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was basically all an illusion. He's a finesser. I love it.
This cult became known as the Brides of the Emperor and acted as his personal bodyguards and aides. However, Goj...
AIDS, bro. We're not talking about the Magic Johnson ones. AIDS, bro. Yeah, they're helping him out in a crazy way. Yeah. Yeah.
Vandire was a tyrant, and his horrendous reign spelt ruination for the wider Imperium, which made the Adeptus Custodes take notice. Despite an outright coup and revolt.
Yo, hey, the Custodes was like, wait a minute. Hey, hey, the Custodes was like, wait a minute, hold up. They was like, wait, hold up. Yo, is bro surrounded by a bunch of daughters of Emperor? How did he do that? Yo, bro, look, bro, look. Yo, they saw him walking around with a bunch of daughters of Emperor. They was like, yo, what type of aura does he have? But they said, yo, you know what, bro? Yo, we got a cock block instantaneously, bro. We know he's capping, so guess what? We got a snitch.
Against him, the deadlock was getting steep as the brides of the Emperor's fierce combat skills kept him safe. One custodian made contact with the leader of the brides and brought her into the throne room of the Emperor himself. Nobody knows what transpired in that room, save for Alicia Dominica, the custodian, and the Emperor himself. However, she left the room with her hair bleached pure white from the interaction, marched her battle brides directly to Vandire himself and said, "You have committed the ultimate heresy. Not only have you turned your back on the Emperor and stepped from his light, you have profaned his name and almost destroyed everything he has stripped."
Basically, the Emperor snitched. You don't have to, you don't have to know what the Emperor told her. Just know that the Emperor basically snitched on him. It was like, yo, he's not who he says he is. You know what? I'm gonna just give you some power. Boom, zap, there it is. He basically snitched.
To build, you have perverted and twisted the path he has laid for mankind to tread. As your decrees have stated, there can be no mercy for such a crime, no pity for such a criminal.
GG's.
I renounce your lordship. You walk in the darkness and cannot be allowed to live. Your sentence has been long overdue, and it is now time for you to die. Despite not having any time to die, Doge Vandire found some time to do so. With his head lopped clean from his body, the brides of the Emperor were no more, and the Ecclesiarchy signed a document to stop Vandire's reign from happening again. They would no longer be allowed to have men under arms. Men.
So wait, I can't join? Really? Dang, I wanted to join, bro.
The Adeptus Sororitas, or commonly known as the Sisters of Battle, the nuns with guns, the fighting force of the church. Despite being the main militant faction, the Sisters of Battle, their organization actually is far more diverse than this and have many more nun-based roles for their members. They are organized by various orders with various specialties in mind, such as the non-militant orders like the Hospitaller, Dialogus, and Familius, including things like helping with surgical equipment and various other medical stuff, Duolingo, and a poli-sci degree. These orders are further separated into smaller orders in an almost Space Marine chapter sense, but tend to have more flexibility due to the nature of their work. And in addition to that, there is flexibility between the orders. It is not uncommon for a member of one of the more battle-hardened orders to switch to a more passive one once they sustain battlefield injuries or are a bit closer to retirement. As mentioned before, the Sisters of Battle are a part of their own separate organization, the Orders Militant, and feature the highest number of any given sister. They are the official fighting force of the Ecclesiarchy, and they specialize in wars of faith. Unlike the deployment of Astartes and Guardsmen, the Sisters of Battle are often deployed with members of the Inquisitorial Ordo Hereticus due to the holy war nature of their battles. The Sisters of Battle are suited up with their own form of specialized power armor that gives them almost like a Joan of Arc vibe to the battlefield. Though lacking the more extreme modifications of a Space Marine's power armor, mainly to the fact that sisters are, for the most part, regular humans, the power armor of a Sister of Battle almost matches the defensive power of an Astartes, but with added flexibility and versatility in exchange for strength. Some of the patterns of armor do allow for the enhancing of genetics, but this is far from the norm. This, combined with an arsenal of tanks and vehicles that have literal church organ rocket launchers on them, really brings across the holy war vibe in a gothic manner. Accompanying a Sister of Battle in the fields of war is the holy trinity of weaponry: the bolter, the flamer, and the melta. With such a simple loadout, the Sisters of Battle are able to bring down the glorious flames of the Emperor himself, and his holy light shines on them in other ways during a conflict. Hell, even their jump packs evoke angelic imagery as opposed to the more clunky jetpacks ones that Space Marines have. In times of great turmoil or impossibility, a living saint of the sororitas itself might appear on the battlefield surrounded by a litany of doves and cherubs, an almost comical scene of holy glory followed by literal hellfire. The Sisters are a fascinating organization because they take what is normally seen as a benevolent force and turn it on its head to be a horrifying method of war. Because the Sisters are so zealous, they are nigh impossible to persuade and almost never fall to chaos. In fact, any deviation—
Yo, hey, I don't mean to be that guy, man, yo. And I'm not, you know, I think I said this in my last video, but as I get a little older, you know, as I get a little older, you know, my confidence starts to rise up. It rises up a little bit, you know. And I'll be real, you know. Man, I would have her in the bag like Santa Claus with his presents, bro. Man, no, bro. Man, I would have her in the bag like garbage. Man, yo, I would walk to, yo, she'll be like trying to be all like serious and stuff like that. Yo, cause like they kind of remind me of like female cops. Bro, I would walk up to her like these. I'll walk up to her like that, bro. Yo, and then I'll purposely drop something. Oops, my apple. Yo, as my apple falls and rolls to her feet, she'll stop and look down. Bro, by the time she stops and look down, I'm already right there. I'm already right there, yo. Yo, I grab the apple. I look up like these. Yo, hey, I'm looking up like these. We're making eye contact. I'm looking up. She's looking down. I'm like, how you doing, ma'am? Thank you for stopping my apple. Sorry, thank you for stopping my apple. She's like, of course, my sire. Da, 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 da. She's gonna start speaking in 1800s. While she's speaking in 1800s, I'm like, babe. Shh, forget all that. What is your digits, my lady? So as I say that, right, she's gonna be like, I don't recall your question. I'm like, you know what? Bet it is what it is. Somehow, some way, we gonna, you know, exchange information. Yo, I'm scooping her up, bro, in the Corvette like these. Pulling up to the Corvette like these. Yo, she gonna have her uniform on, like, yo, yeah, we're gonna go to training. I'm gonna lie, act like we're gonna go to training. Yo, we're gonna stop at dinner first. We're gonna eat some dinner, right? She gonna crush her food instant. You know she's a beast. Yo, she gonna crush her food in 2 bites. She gonna eat with her hand and stuff like that, bro. Yeah, she gonna be the only lady eat. Yo, she's gonna be the only lady eating with her hand at Nobu. Like, come on, bro. Like what are we doing? It's a little unprofessional, but for her, anything goes. Literally, I can't do nothing to stop it. Yo, I'm like, yo, let's go back to my place real quick. I gotta change into my training equipment. Yo, when we go home, whatever, I change into my training equipment, whatever, and then this is where the real pressure starts. Man, I'm chatting my way, You know, she's smirking for the first time in 3,000 years. I'm like, yo, so like, you know, why we gotta go to training? We could just do our training here. See, yeah, y'all not familiar with that game. You know, if I was to actually give y'all a step-by-step process to bagging a Sisters of Battle, you wouldn't be able to do it. As a matter of fact, she's murdering you. She's murdering you in your own room. And she's walking out marching like these. Like, she's not, like, you're most likely going to go outside. See, for me, I'm going to find a way to make it work. See, I always find a way. I'm going to find a way to make it work.
from the Imperial faith may see you killed outright as you are deemed a heretic, and sometimes sisters have even less patience than the Inquisition does. To the Adeptus Sororitas, no punishment is too extreme for blasphemy and heretical behavior, whether it's lobotomizing traitors to use as shock troops or attaching them physically to agonizing pain engines so they can die for the Emperor. Anything goes. The most fascinating part of the sisters, however, is their faith. We discussed how orcs often make things happen through belief because of their sheer number of them. The sisters create miracles where they walk. They are not many psychers like orcs, but they are excessively devout and make up for that. Bullets barely miss targets they absolutely should hit. Guns jam, tanks malfunction, enemies slip and fall. The scene from Pulp Fiction is an accurate portrayal of what happens when the sisters fight.
I'd knock that shit off if I was you. Die, you motherfucker!
One of the most prominent figures is the Triumph of St. Catherine, a literal open casket with the saint of a sister's order held aloft by lobotomized servant cherubs and protected by bodyguards of the faithful. The devotion to the Emperor swells so strong that acts of faith are made manifest, and sometimes angels themselves. When the sisters go to war, they have thundering organs and litanies screeching out into the battlefield, hymns and songs. They rabble off prayers on their lips and burn holy fire across the area. They spray holy water down from horns atop their... It is a genuine holy war, a procession of death. Saint Celestine is an undying deity, arriving precisely where she is needed and returning to the fold after each death. When she dies, she sees a crying young girl atop a mountain of bones. Her bones, after every one of her deaths. She climbs this mountain every time to help comfort this crying child and is rebirthed upon the battlefield. And one day, her deaths will create a mountain so large that even she will not be able to traverse it. Is she a demon of the God Emperor? Perhaps, but she'll be shot for saying so. She is genuinely and literally faith made manifest. Some sisters may make a mistake, however, and find themselves questioning their faith, disobeying a command, and even leaving their order. These sisters are sent for reconditioning and are known as the Sisters Repentia. They generally face the front of the line head on and seek retribution and forgiveness from the Emperor himself. Though their actions were heretical, repentia on the fields of battle is an indication of an individual wanting to become forgiven. They run aloft with torture devices attached to their bodies and a chain sword the size of their body.
What in the BDSM is going on, man? What, man? What in the kinkiness? Man, what in, yo, man, what in the... What the hell? What the hell? Yo, what's going on, man? Hey, y'all let me know. Hey, y'all let me know what's going on, y'all. This what we looking at in 2025? Y'all let me know. I mean, don't get me the line. This ain't me, y'all. Man, what in the kinkiness is going on?
Completely armorless to determine if this is how they die or if the Emperor will forgive them. Even the most famous champion of the sisters, that Saint Celestine, was a repentia. Even she questioned her faith. And if she can do it, so can you. Just don't run away again. They don't really do third chances. The Sisters of Battle are martyrdom-enthused zealots that create miracles in their tread. Their devotion is boundless and also a direct source of their power. A whole army of power-armored soldiers shooting, burning, and melting all in their path is bad enough, but it enters a whole different level when God is on your side. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So has it been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time. The Imperium devolving into wars of faith is to push its agenda further. Where the xenophobic nature of humanity was once strong, it has now been magnified, and there are plenty of aliens in this fray. The conflicts of Warhammer 40k are chaotic enough with the sheer volume of violence that exists in the conflict.
Wait, is this about the Tyranids? Should I skip this one too, or... I pretty much know about the Tyranids though. No, let's do it. Why not?
Lines of the Milky Way.
I mean, I pretty much, I don't know like all of Tyranids, like, you know, like I know who the Tyranids are. I know, like, you know, about the factions and stuff like that, but we're still gonna check it out. Why not? Because I have skipped out on some factions that I already know about, so.
However, there is a threat to the galaxy that extends beyond our known galaxy that is creeping ever closer
more about the
and cannot be negotiated with. What drew them to the galaxy is unclear. It may have been the light of the Astronomicon itself, like a moth to a flame. It could have been a Xenos device detonated in the Horus Heresy. It could have been that they were done eating the Andromeda galaxy and they have come to take ours, or they might be running from something far, far worse. Regardless of the why, the where, when it came to the first official contact with these creatures, was the planet of Tyran. This is the site where the Imperium encountered a fleet of these creatures before being utterly torn to shreds. Thus, these creatures became known as the Tyranids. There is plenty of evidence that the Tyranids have been lurking in our galaxy for years beforehand, but this was the first true instance of their presence being fully known. Unlike other creatures in the realm of 40k that can be talked to, captured, or negotiated with, the Tyranids are unable to be reasoned with. They are, at their core, animals. But not the fun kind of animals. They are the xenomorphs of 40k, and boy are they hungry. They are instinctively hardwired to either kill or be killed, and they are an unrelenting force due to this. However, just because they don't talk outwardly doesn't mean they don't communicate with one another. The true horror of the Tyranids is found in their driving force, the hive mind.
Yep. I mean, I pretty much know about like the hive mind and, like, you know, how like they're all technically like connected to each other and they're all technically like one big creature. I pretty much know all these things. We could still, like, you know, check it out, y'all. But yeah, bro, I'll say it to this day. I think that the Tyranids are like the biggest threat. I mean, because yeah, the orcs, like some people might, you know, pick the orcs or whatever. I still think to this day that the Tyranids, bro, they're number one, y'all. They're legit number one, bro. Like, I feel like you can't, there's so many. I feel like just numbers wise, bro, like it's like there's just so many that you can't even like stop them. Like it's crazy.
3, 2, 1. Hot in here by Nelly.
That's what I guessed.
You see, the Tyranids are a collective consciousness that are all connected to a singular embodiment of psychic power that is utterly incomprehensible to the human mind. To keep this connection there, the Tyranids on the field of battle are followed around by synapse creatures, essentially serving as their Bluetooth connection to the greater hive mind. This allows them to send and receive information about the battle they're in, and it also allows them to adapt to certain situations based off of the information gained. Depending on the enemy, the swarm might be able to develop a new weapon or new tactics so they can get the upper hand. When the synapse connection is cut, they are unable to essentially form a save state and are stranded. The sheer power of the hive mind presence pours from each Tyranid in such a manner that it causes a distortion in the warp itself. A hive fleet's arrival can cause a dark shadow the size of several light years, coined the shadow in the warp. This shadow prevents any usage of the warp, or at least makes it exceptionally difficult.
Oh, so it's like an EMP basically.
Communications shut down due to astropaths being unable to talk. Ships cannot freely enter the warp, and even creatures with a warp sensitivity feel an immense dread due to it. It causes everything to just kind of sit dead, like at a buffet counter waiting for the afternoon meal rush. The Tyranids meander through the galaxy in these gigantic hive fleets that are fueled by bioships, and these ships contain birthing pools for Tyranid armies and more ships. Everything about the Tyranids is organic, and to fuel this war machine, the Tyranids consume any and all biomass they come across and absorb it into their respective hive. From the ground to literally the air, the Tyranids strip a planet to a lifeless and uninhabitable hulk.
That's cheating. They can't do that. That's cheating. That's cheating, bro. They can't do that, bro. That's unfair. That's unfair because they, at that point, they won't stop. That's cheating. No, they can't do that. Nah, bro. Some gotta give. Some gotta give, bro. They can't do that. That's cheating, bro. Oh my goodness. That's absolute cheating, literally.
As a means to curb the advancement of the Tyranids, the Imperium has been known to preemptively exterminatus worlds in the path of a hive fleet so that they have less biomass to consume in an attempt to starve them. The Halo method, literally scorched earth tactics by taking everything out of the freezer and lighting it on fire. Outside of the obvious threat and adaptive and unreasonable enemy posed on the field of battle, the most dangerous aspect of the Tyranids comes in the form of their general unpredictability. The Tyranids are external to the Milky Way galaxy itself, and it's unknown where they truly hail from. However, their arrival in the Milky Way is seemingly random and in 3D space, implying quite heavily that Tyranids have the galaxy surrounded in some kind of way.
GG's.
Due to this, you will sometimes see instances of species engaged in a separate conflict, both agree to a temporary truce in order to take out a Tyranid threat. Because regardless of the stakes at hand,
Yo, imagine being like that much of a threat to where like you got like two dudes beefing, and then like, bro, you come around the block or you come around like the street or corner or whatever, bro, and then bro, they purposely stop throwing haymakers at each other and look at you and be like, you know what, bro, just for this one instance, we're gonna team up just to try to take you out. And then after we take you out, we'll get back to swinging at each other. That's crazy.
and the existence of the Tyranids marks
Like,
the
that's
heat
insane.
death of the galaxy itself. And all the factions can ultimately agree that the Tyranids themselves act as the biggest threat to all of them. The
They
Tyranid
are.
race is truly an unknowable horde and pulls from that horror of the unknown. They, as a faction, are not ones with a large amount of general lore because their entire race is told from the point of view of those being eaten by them. Tyranids are called that due to the planet Tyran they destroyed, as we mentioned earlier, and their names are often phrases given to them by their victims. The Swarm Lord, Old One-Eye, the Death Leaper, Von Ryan's Leapers, and so on. Despite the inability to even perceive the vast psychic hive mind of the Tyranids, they are fiercely intelligent. Special poisons and items designed to counter them are adapted in a matter of hours. If you bring light infantry, they create heavy monsters. If you brought weapon emplacements, they spawn little creatures to scour your vents and sewers. Many of you enjoyed the Servitor excerpt from part 1, and so bear with me as I provide you another very long account of a planetary governor whose planet is in the final death throes of the Tyranid menace. This starts about halfway through. It has been many weeks since a handful of us escaped the sinking of the Seafort Divine Anchor via airlift. We have escaped in this manner because the Tyranids had overwhelmed so much of our world, they no longer appeared to need to continue spawning beasts for aerial supremacy. I shall never forget what I saw from my craft's portholes. Alien biostructures dominated Huto's surface. Gigantic, lumpen barnacles pumped out clouds of matter to further poison the planet alongside pulsating, brain-like nodes that resembled lethal fungi. Immense capillary towers stretched high into the poisoned sky. The glistening chitin coating their flanks crawled over by chains of lesser beasts fulfilling some sick alien purpose I cannot know. Digestion pools spread for miles, replacing our once great lakes with reservoirs of bubbling biomatter. Tides of creatures bloated with
Bro, they got the yo. They got like the liquid. Hey, y'all know in the show Gotham, with like in like the final fight, like versus like Bruce Wayne versus like the Joker. Y'all know whenever Bruce Wayne puts the Joker into like the little into that green substance, into that green juice, and that man Joker he was boiling in there, bro. He was, bro, it's called something acid. Bro, he was boiling in there, bro. That's what they got. That's what they got. It's not funny. It's not funny, bro. It's just, imagine like thinking, okay, you grab like a little glass. You better get like a glass of water, bro. Yo, you turn on the sink and, bro, first of all, it take the sink like 5 hours just to like load up. And as the sink's loading up, bro, as you think water's about to come out the faucet, bro, it's just acid coming out. Oh my goodness, bro. Man, I'll be sick to my stomach. I'll be sick to my stomach, bro. For real, bro. I'd rather lick rocks then drink that, bro. No lie, bro. For real, bro. When Joker got pushed in that acid, bro, and the Joker was boiling, that acid is no joke. No pun intended. But bro, that acid is that green acid. I don't even know what it's called. I bet it's like some long word that starts with like the letter A. Bro, man, that acid is no joke, bro. Especially like because I don't even like, know like the type of bacteria like, we have to get to like boil our stomach. But bro, man, imagine that in like your water and like your sink water and like your river water, ocean water. Oh my goodness, GG's. It's over. All the water is contaminated. GG's, bro. Man, I'd rather be taken out by dehydration, bro. For real. I'm not drinking none of that, bro. I'm sorry, bro. Yo, if I drink some of that acid from their world, bro, I'm gonna be having the bubble guts for 5 days straight, bro. No lie.
Consumed flesh vomited their guts into the pools or threw themselves entirely into the billowy liquid. Amidst the seas of feeder beasts consuming all in their path, we would every so often see an explosion or a burst of fire. Were these heroic final stands by other survivors, or merely abandoned ordnance detonating at random? I will never know. I cannot rejoice in the deaths they inflicted. The biomatter of the dead Xenos was surely recycled by the Xenos regardless in no time at all. Our aircraft ran out of fuel a week ago. Now I stand in the snow, not far from the peak of Mont Saint Helena. I am the only one left that I know. One by one, those with me perished. The slightest cut on a mountain rock resulted in an immediate infection that left the pilot screaming in agony. Her co-pilot fired the shot that ended her torture, and my senior aide threw himself from a ledge, the reality that there was no escape hitting him. I have no idea what happened to my chief medicae. Others were slain by lone beasts the rest of us were unable to kill or drive away. A justly deserved end will soon be mine. I have failed on every possible level. We were not even able to send word. An alien disease has me within its grasp. My limbs are numb, my tongue is dry as sand, my head throbs. Even at these chilled heights, I sweat profusely. From here where I sit, I can see—
He got no water intake, y'all. No water intake. Man, man, I bet he dropping weight like The Biggest Loser. Y'all know that show that used to be out called The Biggest Loser? Man, they was dropping weight like crazy, bro. And that, bro, that show was so evil. They used to have like all like the little, they used to have all the, goody snacks and stuff like that in front of their face while they working out every day, bro. It was diabolical. It was diabolical. Y'all remember the show The Biggest Loser? They used to come on like in like the early 2010s. Man, I love that show, y'all. That was my show. But bro, that's how it was, bro. Man, I bet, I feel so bad for him, bro. I feel so bad. And they don't got no food. All the food that they got, bro, is either rotten. They got to eat corn starch. No, not corn starch. Human starch or whatever. Man, I feel so bad for them, bro. For real, y'all. I feel so bad for them, bro. They can't even get clean water, bro. Treacherous.
See the final death unfold on the planet entrusted to me. Before me is the Radarin Ocean. The water level is visibly dropping, hour by hour. They are even taking our seas. There are enormous beasts with great, slowly flapping wings and immense open maws moving through the sky. I may be at high altitude, but the air is thinner here than it should be. I know enough of mountaineering to know that. They will not even leave our air. There is an isthmus I can see, upon which is sat one of the Xenos capillary towers. Now I believe I can tell what they are truly for. High up, foul Xenos bioships cling to their flanks like twisted calves at their mother's udders. They are feasting, I am sure, hungrily filling themselves to burst on the hideous gruels that are what remains of my people. I have witnessed the planet's death from sinister start to hideous conclusion. I see the power of our foe, and though I have shown boundless weakness these past months, I do not see how we could ever have won.
I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, y'all weren't going to beat the Tyranids in the first place. He's right about that. I mean, if I'm him, I wouldn't even feel like I failed or nothing like that, bro. It's the damn Tyranids, bro. They're threats, bro. They're menaces. They're them. They're him. I'm sorry, bro. There's nothing I can do about that, bro. They're legit, bro. They are legit him, bro. Like, for real. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
If this is any sort of good news, it seems that one thing that might be an inadvertent repellent effect on the Tyranids is chaos. Chaos and chaotic energies offer no nourishment to the Tyranids. They cannot eat that. And the presence of rifts and warp storms work as a...
I think he's gonna transition to chaos. You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. We pretty much know a lot about the chaos. I mean, he might put us on, so yeah, it's like 9 minutes left. We might as well just finish it. All right, cool. All right, bet. Because I was gonna like wrap it up right here, but I was like, you know what? We might as well. It's 9 minutes left. We might as well just finish it out strong, man. If y'all still watching, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, by the way. And yeah, man, let's keep going. And also, I'm most likely gonna be streaming as well, so make sure you guys you know, come through on the Twitch and
to starve out the Tyranid fleet. The Tyranids, of course, are attempting to adapt to this, but it seems that even at the most primal core of the galaxy itself, Chaos agrees that these dinner guests are not welcome in any way, shape, or bioform. In the end, though, the Tyranids represent the final fears of the galaxy itself. Despite the goals to conquer the galaxy as a whole, the remainder of the universe may very well be dead and derelict space. Instead of endless worlds and solar systems, it may just be bones and ash. The tendrils of the hive mind have wrapped themselves around the galaxy, and the only thing that's guaranteed is that dinner is served. However, the Tyranids are not simply the unending hordes of bugs. Beyond the more general buffet tactics of the force of the Tyranids, the hive mind has a more secretive and dangerous means of planetary
I thought this was a new character. I've never seen him before. He got the purple brain.
conquest in the form of something a bit more terrestrial. General upheaval and revolution. However, though the idea of a societal revolt for the good of the populace is an admirable thing, these leaders have the nefarious intent of the hive mind itself. These are the downtrodden and the oppressed, the revolutionaries to a better cause, the heralds of the Star Children. These are the
Genestealer, the Genestealer cults. I was about to say, yo, what the hell? Genestealer, the Genestealer cults. I've heard of the Genestealers before. Okay, cool. Let's check this out, y'all.
In the sunless body of our hive, the flock of the faithful grows. We are guided by our great Father's sacred vision, protected by his loving hands. Within these holy shadows we dwell, while the impure bathe in spire-topped starlight. And what lies between those stars? What sails beyond those distant suns? Shrouded in night, born within that eternal black, our redeemers, our gods, truer than the silent, long-dead emperor, the children of the void. We hear them in our dreams, we feel them in our blood. They call and we will answer. We will rise and claim the engines of labor that have bound us in servitude. This world will burn. It will be cleansed, purified, made ready, and the heavens will deliver our reward. The ground zero of a Genestealer cult comes in the form of the Genestealer itself.
Man, he looks scary. Boy, he look like, what's his name from Spider-Man? Venom. Man, he look like Venom right now. This is crazy. Look at him. Oh, nah, this is menace territory right here. See, now we're breaking levels. This is crazy.
Deep in the depths of a planet, a Genestealer acts as almost an advanced recon unit for the Tyranids, and were the first Tyranid units encountered by the Imperium itself long before the first Hive fleet made its presence known. Unlike the Tyranids that can only reproduce through the birthing pools in the fleet, a Genestealer reproduces via the Big Smooch. The Genestealer kiss is essentially what the facehugger alien does. It attaches to a victim and releases an embryo. However, instead of a chest burster, the embryo alters the genetic makeup of the host itself, turning it into the primary conductor of a localized version of the hive mind known as the brood mind. Any offspring that this host produces is known as a Genestealer hybrid, and the host assures their survival to continue to reproduce. The first few generations of a Genestealer hybrid look more like the Genestealer itself, which in our current reality would be terrifying, but considering how the vast majority of humanity is a little mutated in 40K, it doesn't stand out as much as it should. As the generations continue, the mutations and the general alien look is almost entirely phased out, and the resulting hybrids look almost identical to the species that they once were. Due to the size of most worlds, the makings of a Genestealer cult can exist almost entirely in secret, generation after generation. After a certain period of time, those hybrids will make their way into generalized society. Still connected to the mind of the Genestealer itself, the hybrids operate with the express goal of gaining power within society itself in a political and religious sense. Most of the time, they will present themselves as revolutionaries, looking for the betterment of the population. And honestly, it sounds great for a lot of the folks on the planet. By the people, for the people. As they expand more openly, the crossbreeding continues until all aspects of the planet's society is in.
Man, yo, listen. I'm not Michael B. Jordan. I'm not Brad Pitt. But yo, if I came out the womb, bro, and I'm looking like these right here, in this world, we're mine. Bro, I'm crashing out, bro. I'm becoming Batman's greatest threat, bro. I'm becoming Superman's, like, arch enemy, bro. Bro, Bro, I'm becoming, like, the Green Lantern's, like, greatest, like, villain ever. Like, if I came out the womb looking like this, bro... GG's.
Infiltrated. However, all bets are off when a hive fleet comes close enough. When a Tyranid hive fleet gets close enough to a planet, the Broodmine activates essentially an endgame scenario. The once political and religious leaders become bloodthirsty fanatics that work to finalize the collapse of society and the death of those who oppose them. But to those in the Broodmine, the god they believe in is coming, and this is holy justice and vindication for their religious and political beliefs. As the hive arrives, the planet is essentially ripe for the taking. The original Genestealer pieces out to the next world or is reabsorbed for deployment elsewhere, and the Tyranids begin to take the planet for themselves. The cultists sing praises and holy songs as the Tyranids begin to eat everything up in kind of a meet the pyro sense of religious delusion. But as they are harvested, some of them are snapped back to reality, oops, there goes gravity, before they are thrown into the biomass soup. For a fleeting second, they see that this was all a ruse to consume the world and that their false gods were a bunch of hungry bugs. The cultists essentially put the checkerboard dining cloth on the table for them and invited them for a feast. Due to the constant redeployment of Genestealers, there are known cults that pop up across the Imperium itself. Some of the more well-known ones are the Cult of the Bladed Cog or the Rusted Claw, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of different cults that keep popping up all over the galaxy as the Genestealers spread. And due to their covert means taking over the planet, they are not generally viewed to be a threat until it is far too late. And due to the know-how of Genestealers, they tend to be predatory to those in the lower classes of a given planet. The Genestealer cults overall have really come into their own, commercially and artistically. They have very much embraced the revolutionaries aesthetic and crafted a fascinating method in doing so. It's this great combination of this pseudo-Marxist Bolshevik uprising mixed with the hills have eyes in the populace. What's particularly enjoyable about their uprising is that often from their point of view, the reasons they have are extremely justified. Most of the members of the GSC are the extremely impoverished and menial laborers of the Imperium, who honestly wouldn't need an alien presence to provide a manifesto.
Lord have mercy, I thought that was me. I thought that was me. I've been saying, no, I knew this video was too long.
On reasons to revolt. Their weapons are all makeshift and often involve things like mining lasers, drilling saws, demolition charges, giant stop signs. Their political machinations work quite well, as the cult ends up being really good at assassination, especially when you have a third arm holding a pistol beneath all those robes. They're a faction rife with fascination and culture, and their plans are generations in the making, to the end goal of being thrown right back into the soup by the star children they prepared the world for. And those are the threats to the galaxy now. The degradation of almost every species is now behest by the Tyranid menace, and all of the infighting between each and every single one of them will be there.
I knew this.
The world of Warhammer is a bleak and horrendous one, and that is in its—
You don't say. You don't say.
Own right, the charm. It is so large, so vast, so absolutely horrendous and insane, and yet is treated with 100% severity and seriousness. In the beginning of part 1, I gave you an abridged and different opening to the Warhammer world, the grim darkness of the far future, and I leave you with this part 2 with the full quote itself. It is the 41st millennia. For more than 100 centuries, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth.
Man, his draws go, bro. Yo, the Emperor's draws. Bro. What's that one dog meme? When the dog covers its own nose. Man, the Emperor's draws is in disarray. Bro, what's another word for draws? Underwear. Bro, his underwear is... Bro, oh my goodness. Yo, the police can use the Emperor's underwear as like a method of like clearing the room. Yo, all they gotta do is take take the Emperor's underwear, throw them in a room, bro. Everybody will just start to and slowly fall to the ground and just pass out. Like, that's what it is, bro. For real. Like, I'm not even... I'm not even joking. Like, bro, oh, man. My lord.
He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, writhing invisibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. Yet even in his deathless state, the Emperor continues his eternal vigilance. Mighty battle fleets across the demon-infested miasma of the warp, the only route between distant stars, their way lit by the Astronomicon, the psychic manifestation of the Emperor's will. Vast armies give battle in his name on uncounted worlds. Greatest amongst his soldiers are the Adeptus Astartes, the Space Marines, bioengineered super warriors. Their comrades in arms are Legion, the Imperial Guard, and countless planetary defense forces, the ever-vigilant Inquisition, and the tech priests of the Adeptus Mechanicus, to name only a few. But for all their multitudes, they are barely enough to hold off the ever-present threat from aliens, heretics, mutants, and worse. To be a man in such times is to be one amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. There is no peace amongst the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Shout out to our boy Bricky, man, for that video, bro. He always does a good job with these videos, man. Now, in this video, it might seem a little shorter because, man, there are some factions that I already know about, and I was like, you know what? This video is really long, so I might as well just cut some out. So if you do get like the final video and like some factions are like automatically cut out, that means I already knew about it, and you know, I don't want the video to be, you know, to be too long. It's gonna be long anyways. I think, like, y'all, I think this video is like 2 hours long, but I think the final video, like, because I was like, you know, I kept pausing, reacting to the video, whatever. I think like the final time in this video might be like an hour, and like it might be like 50 something minutes, or like an hour, or it might be like a little longer, but for sure it's not 2 hours, bro. 2 hours is absolutely diabolical. And so yeah, other than that, man, comment down below, man, what do you guys want me to react to next? And also the PlayStation show, can I not talk? The PlayStation Showcase is legit going off today. I'm excited about it. I haven't, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was so last second. I literally just heard about the PlayStation Showcase like coming through yesterday. This is how last second this was. So, you know, I'm gonna be really excited in the trailer reactions, y'all. And bro, I don't even know like what to expect. Like, are we gonna get like a new Spider-Man? Like, Are we gonna get like, you know, more like Mafia, old country gameplay? Like, what are we gonna get? You know, I'm really excited about it. Other than that, man, comment down below what do you guys think about this video, and I will see you guys later. No, I'll see you guys legit later for the PlayStation Showcase trailers, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Bye, everyone.